Shalom, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rekah Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Shalom and salutations to all the Akwath out listening and learning. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to everyone in attendance. Okay, so today will be War and Rumors of War Tuesday on Wednesday. All right, since the Spirit dictated differently yesterday. And here we go. What we do is we read Matthew 24 and 6 in the King James. And it reads, "And ye shall hear of war and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Wars, plural, and rumors of wars, plural. Okay. Then what we do is we look at it in these different versions. And we'll start with the NIV, and that reads the same. Wars and rumors of war. NLT, wars and threats. So we got rumors and threats of war. Of wars, plural. Rumors. We got rumors and threats. And then down here, we have reports. Rumors, threats, reports, and what else? And news of battles far away. And then what we do is we say, okay, let's see some rumors and threats and reports. Show me. I'm from Missouri, right? Okay, so where was I? Alert. That it? Okay, yeah. And who do we have? We got old Nate, the Canadian prepper. Now, rumor. Is this a rumor? Is this a threat? Is this news? Is this a report? Is it all of the above? This is 15 hours ago, and there's a theme going on. What? The Zaporozhye power plant is about to be blown up by either, right, the Ukrainians or the Russians. Is that a rumor? Right? Is that a threat? Is it news? Is it a report? Is it all of the above? And take it away, Nate. Let's read this. Alert, 24 hours. Nuclear crisis imminent? Question. I've never seen this before. They are preparing bad things. This is the update. Take it away. And we're just going to listen to a few words because what we're going to do is we're going to hear some other so-called preppers say exactly this.
In the next 24 to 48 hours, according to both Russian and Ukrainian intelligence sources, we're about to see a nuclear crisis unfold that may define a generation.
That's huge. That's not whistling Dixie right there. That's huge. Let's listen one more time. Okay. Is this a rumor? Is this news? Is it a report? Is it a threat?
In the next 24 to 48 hours, according to both Russian and Ukrainian intelligence sources, we're about to see a nuclear crisis unfold that may define a generation.
Is it a psyop?
And be a black hole that absorbs the rest of us into a global thermonuclear war. Now, I could come on here and I could be incredibly circumspect. I could be Normalcy Norman and say that nothing is ever going to happen, and I might be right. But the overwhelming amounts of data, the priming, the preparatory information campaigns that has been building and building for the last 2 weeks, I've never seen anything like this before. Now, that very well may be the thing that prevents anything from happening, because both sides are being so vocal in their accusations and allegations that the other side is about to do something. That may be what stops something from happening. But I can say, in my limited experience in data analysis of this sort, that I've never seen this massive buildup on both sides. The Ukrainians and the Russians know something about what the other side is up to.
Okay, we'll stop right there. And if you're new to watching this particular channel, of course you're not going to like what is being said. All right, you're just out searching for news on World War III because you're scared, and then you come here and you don't like what you hear because you're scared, and you put a little thumbs down. But here's the challenge: leave a comment as to why you put the thumbs down, and don't be a bitch. How about that? You won't do it, okay? Because what the first thing that we do is we filter this news through the scriptures. Is this not going on right now? You will hear of wars and rumors of war. Is that not what this is? This is what we're doing, okay? It's the World War III daily update through the scriptures, whether you like it or not. And of course you're not going to like it, all right? But your scary ass is right here, all right, typing in World War III, trying to find out what's going on. Here you are, and of course you're not going to like it, right? Unless you understand what it means to be saved, all right? And I might show you that after we get through a couple of more of these little things here. Where is it? Right here. So there's Nate. Let's get more. Nate. Let's get Skeletor. Skeletor here. Full spectrum what? Survival. Slovakia. Bear with me through the commercial. Boom. Where's Skeletor? Come on. There's Skeletor. Well, this is 3 hours ago. Full spectrum survival featuring Skeletor. Get ready, things are about to what? Right? The rule of law doesn't matter anymore. I know your little scary ass don't want your little world to come to an end, but guess what the Bible says? Guess what the Bible says, you little scary bitch with your thumbs down who won't put a comment? You can't stop what is about to happen from going down. I'm just telling you about it. So I'm the bad guy? Am I suddenly become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Take it away, Skeletor.
July, and we are reminded that
Slovakia. One more.
it's the 5th of July, and we are reminded that the forefathers and foremothers before us had to fight for the land that we are living on today. We don't know what the future is going to be like, but we do know that we are going to see distress and violence in the coming months and years. Maybe even here on American soil.
Oh, you little scared thumbs down ass bitch. This is for you.
China prepares for what they call World War Z, a war that will bring missiles to American soil and maybe even troops through Mexico or through the shores. Russia is already preparing with Brazilian spies to enter into the American homeland, and we might see infrastructural attacks and maybe even sabotage in the next couple of weeks.
Now, is this rumor? Certainly a rumor of war. So does that not make the Bible true? Oh, the Bible was written by a man. The Bible was 2,000 years ago. Scary ass bit. Get ready for this. This is in your face. And put your thumbs down. And right after you put the thumbs down, visit the comment board and tell us all why you put your thumbs down.
Now, every month, Kelly and I send out a survival card or a series of survival cards and a newsletter to our viewers. We do this through Patreon, and there's a couple that I think are important. Sometimes we just write stories about what we expect the future to be like or what it maybe even could be. So let's discuss some of those things that could happen and how you and your family might get prepared for them in a way that otherwise YouTube would not allow us to.
No, we're not going to do that. The point is, things are about to go nuclear. Shit is spiraling out of control. According to Skeletor. Who's next up? Travis? Let's see. Travis, maybe. Here's Travis. What is false flag July 4th? What is that? Let's get the new one. This is today. 24, 48 hour warning. Is it fear mongering or something? Is it a rumor of war or is it blowing up a nuclear power plant? And look, World War III is trending in the news. What does that mean? That means some fucking scary ass bitch and come and run a search on World War III and my channel comes up and you click on it and you don't like what you're hearing and won't leave a comment as to why you put your thumbs down. But guess what? I know what it is. You're a scary ass bitch. You don't have a plan for what is coming. That's what it is. Your plan is to lay down and die. All right, here we go. Take it away, Travis. Take it, Travis. He's got an intro here. Come on, Travis. All right, this is Travis, Prepared Homestead, 3 hours ago. 24 to 48 hour warning. Is it fear-mongering or something else?
Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch take 2. Yeah, did almost the whole video and realized I wasn't recording. If you hear another set of crunch feet, it's because my beautiful wife is walking with me this morning, but she doesn't want to be on camera. So, you know, she's just like just beyond where this camera is. But anyways, hope you all had a good Independence Day yesterday. Not just shooting fireworks and eating hamburgers, but maybe had some time to reflect and talk about what's going on and how bad things are and where we've been and where we're going as...
You mean things are bad right now? Is that a rumor?
As a nation. We had the fortunate time yesterday of spending it with a few friends. Yesterday evening, a little bit of time. So it was a nice little break from the homestead work, from the videos, from the news. Just kind of unplugged from the world.
And now we're back on the trail in full web gear, right? In full ammo with an AR strapped to my back because we're at war.
My goodness, there probably could have been a nuclear war started where we were at and wouldn't have known anything about it. It's kind of nice. A lot of stuff going on, and specifically, and I know you're probably tired of hearing it talked about because everybody seems to be talking about it. But this power plant in Ukraine kind of seems to be front and center right now with all the scuttle being talked about online. And it's because there are multiple threats, there are multiple rumors that either...
Multiple what? Did you say rumors? Let's hear that again.
That either Ukraine or Russia, or who knows, NATO, United States, CIA, is going to strike, cause some kind of explosion or bomb at that power plant there in Ukraine today or tomorrow is what everyone's saying, on the 4th or 5th. So we're at the 5th now. It could be, within the next 24 to 48 hours, in other words, is what we're seeing. It could be nothing. We've had these kind of rumors that end up being absolutely nothing.
Look at all these rumors. Okay, so you get the point. Anyway, that's about the nuclear power plant that's wired to blow, and either one or the other side did it. Right? Now, I want to take a look at a couple of more situations. All right? And then I'll show you through the scriptures that this nuclear war is definitely going to take place. And that's what you're scared of. I get it. All right, so here we have on today, Israel presses ahead with military offensive. So they're in Jenin, right? Or they were. And let's watch this. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. See what they say with a million commercials in between, of course. But today, Israel presses ahead. Gotta watch this commercial. 1 day ago. All right? Because this is important as to what's going on, the bigger picture.
Overnight, residents of Jenin fleeing their home as the Israeli military continues its biggest operation in 2 decades in the northern Palestinian city in the occupied West Bank. In the early hours of this morning, explosions and gunshots ringing out 24 hours after thousands of Israeli troops entered the city on the ground, backed by multiple drone strikes. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling it an extensive counterterrorism operation.
In recent months, Jenin has become a safe haven for terrorists. As I speak, our troops are battling the terrorists with unyielding resolve and fortitude.
After a year of near nightly raids in Jenin, he's been under pressure from the extreme right-wing factions of his government to launch a major operation. The Israeli military says more than 100 suspects have been detained so far, but hundreds of Palestinian militants are still hiding out in Jenin. It has long been a base for armed Palestinian groups. As Israeli commandos pushed into Jenin yesterday, armed bulldozers can be seen tearing up roads, the Israeli military says, to remove hidden explosives. The UN says electricity and water lines were destroyed, and Doctors Without Borders says the Israeli bulldozers blocked ambulances from reaching the injured. In the densely populated city, this Palestinian medic says the Israeli attacks are not differentiating between medics, civilians, or military. This man says it was like World War III.
You know what?
It was like, what? Maybe it is.
It's like World War III.
You know what?
The Palestinian Prime Minister calling on the world to immediately stop the aggression against our people in Jenin, adding it's an attempt to eliminate the Palestinian city.
Genocide.
Now we are waiting on more reaction from the Biden administration from Washington this morning. In a statement yesterday, the State Department backing Israel's right.
They did what? They said it was all good what they did? Whose side is America on?
The State Department backing Israel's right to self-defense, but also saying it is imperative to take all possible precautions to prevent the loss of civilian lives. Chanel?
All right, Molly, thank you.
Okay, so that was while it was going down. And here's the aftermath here. Try to make it quick. I want the short one. Or we'll just let this roll. So this is CBN.
In operation.
Slovakia. No commercial there. All right, CBN News. It's a little church channel. Counter-terrorism operation in the West Bank. You see whose side they're on. Counter-terrorism. Who's the real terrorist? The real terrorist is in the eye of the beholder. What side you're on? In Russia, right? If you're a Russian, you're living in Russia, guess who the terrorist is? The Ukrainians, NATO, the EU, and Americans. If you live in the Ukraine, oh, the Russians are the bad guys. Okay? Anyway, 3 hours ago, this is them pulling out after they did whatever they did over there, right? And it all goes into World War III. This fight right here in the Middle East, that's the main battle of Armageddon in the Bible.
Well, welcome to the 700 Club. Let's go over to the CBN newsroom for today's top stories.
For today's wars and rumors of war.
Gordon, we begin in the Middle East, where the Israeli Defense Forces have pulled out of the Palestinian city of Jenin after 2 days of an intense counterterrorism operation. The Israeli move came after more than 50 Israelis were killed or injured from terrorist operations out of Jenin in the past year. 1 Israeli soldier and 12 Palestinian militants were killed during the fighting. Chris Mitchell joins us now from Jerusalem to discuss the operation. So, Chris, exactly what did Israeli forces find and what did they accomplish?
Well, Ephraim, they found thousands of weapons, explosive devices, the IEDs, ammunition, guns, at least 6 explosive manufacturing facilities.
It looks like propaganda. Look at these things all neatly displayed. They found this stuff sitting in this orderly arrangement. Or did they set it up for a photo op? Of course they did. Depends on what side you're on. Okay? So we saw the troops in the streets, right? Shooting and doing whatever the hell they call themselves doing. Let's look this up real quick. Let's look up fire in the streets of France. Fire in the streets. Look at this. 3 days, 5 days. What's going on? Let's click on this one. Is this war?
Patiently ate.
It's a lock here. Is this a war in France too?
Suddenly, street battles are normal in Nanterre. Riot police firing tear gas and protesters hurling rocks and fireworks back at them. This was the same square where 17-year-old Nael died on Tuesday morning, shot by the police. These clashes were loaded with fury and mistrust. This man asking people to film the police everywhere all the time. Nael's killing was filmed by a passerby. And at the heart of this protest, Nael's mother, here holding the flare, the focal point of support. She led a march through Nanterre that attracted thousands from across this community. Many knew her son. Bruno's lived in Nanterre his whole life, his children the same age as Nael and the passengers who were with him in the car.
They know his friend, the one who got away. He's hiding because if he gets caught by the police, we'll never see him again. And he's the main witness.
The prosecutor has now charged the police officer involved in the shooting with voluntary homicide, but that hasn't quelled the tension.
Well, the death of Nael was the catalyst for this protest, but there is a lot more behind this. This is a community that feels forgotten, disenfranchised.
Okay, we'll stop it right there. Now we'll get to the precepts. We'll start right here. Second Ezra 9, chapter 9. Okay. What does all of this mean? What does all this war, people fighting in the street, what does all of that mean? So Ezra, right, is having a conversation with the angel that the Most High sent to him. And here's the conversation. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I've told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So this is what I'm doing. Well, why are you doing it? I'm doing this because I'm supposed to measure the time diligently in itself. And we're looking for the signs of what? Of when the Most High will begin to visit the world which he made. Now, what are those signs? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, we see that, and uproars of the people in the world. Okay? You know what the Palestinians are doing in Israel? They're sick and tired of being treated the way that they are, so they're uprising. No different than what was going on in France. Okay? It's the same thing. All right? So, what do these things mean? That means that God, right, Yahweh, is sending his son back to straighten everything out. Right? How does the Most High visit? Right? Well, he'll send the angels. He'll send his son, who is an angel, right, to come and jack this place up. All right? So anyway, there's that. Let's go on to, let's go to So we see uproars of the people. We see wars and rumors of war. We clearly see that, do we not? That's prevalent. All right. Now let's get the nukes real quick, because this is where it's going. And this is what you're afraid of. Oh, it's just a little war. Yeah, when the war is on your street corner, we'll see. All right. Zach, Z-E-C-H-A. This is Zechariah 14. I might have to spell it out for the slow bellies out here, the thumbs downers. All right. Here's what's coming to America, not Eddie Murphy. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Okay? Smite means kill. How is God going to kill all the people that came against his chosen people? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. What could cause that? First of all, what does it look like? Let's see. Looks like this. This is what it looks like. All right. Now, what caused this to happen? This caused it. See that mushroom cloud right there? Right? See the mushroom cloud? This happened. Then this happened. That fire started racing. See? See that fire? And then eventually it hit Sarah Connor. Right? Let's see. This is what's coming to America. All right? What's going on in Ukraine right now? Well, they're going to blow up the what? Nuclear power plant. Well, there's that word nuclear. Making a nuclear apocalypse. Right? Nuclear. Well, that's just a power plant. Well, is there such thing as a nuclear bomb? An ICBM, which is what causes this? The theme is what? Nuclear. After they blow up the nuclear power plant, then what? Then the tactical nukes. Then the pocket nukes. Then the short range nukes. Then the ICBMs. Okay? So this is in the Bible. And they know it is. What do you think this movie Terminator is about? All right? Well, it's clearly about nuclear bombs. Right? Now, let's go back here real quick. And this shall be the plague. Zechariah 14:12. This is a plague. This shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Right? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Is that not this? Where did Sarah go? Is that not this? Of course it is. Where's the skeleton at? That's exactly what this is. Where's the damn skeleton? What is this? That's jumping off the page. Okay? Now, the Bible says that America, also known as Babylon the Great, is ground zero. You know what ground zero means? It means the place where all the bombs are going to go off. Right? And they'll go off in other places too, but this is Ground zero for who? The Most High. God is the one that wants to destroy this place. And we won't go into why. Let's just say Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Okay. Well, it was kind of blown off the face of the earth. Was it not? Well, there it is. And you don't like what I'm saying, put your thumb down and leave a comment as to, because you said something about the LGBTQ community. No, I didn't. I said the reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, all right? Well, let's get that. Let's get that. Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies, who's that? The Israelites, shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called what? Sodom. How did that come up? And Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. How did that come up? Right? Their dead bodies. And they're alive, but they're dead. Right? And that might be too much for you. But the point is this. The great city is America. Right? Babylon, the great city. Spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Just look on the back of your dollar bill and ask yourself, why is an Egyptian pyramid on there? Revelation 11 and 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. Right? In the 10th part of the city, America. What city? That great city, Babylon, the great city. And the 10th part, meaning all 10 parts of America, the great city Babylon, fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, all of them. Complete. The complete number of citizens in the United States. Okay, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. What earthquake? How is that earthquake created? Like this. Oh, shit. Like this. When 200 million missiles hit the planet Earth, there's going to be a great earthquake. Well, you're going to die in the great earthquake too. Am I? No, I'm going to be on one of them birds. Right? The airlift. Go back to 12. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And a bird rescued them from the great earthquake. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies, the ones with the thumbs down, they were watching the whole thing. See? Lord willing, as they say, we're going to be on that bird. What bird? That cloud. What cloud? Swing low, sweet chariot. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. What cloud? This cloud. That cloud. Right? This is Acts 1 and 9. And when he, who's he? He. When he had spoken these things, he, while they beheld, he, who's he? Well, let's find out. The ascension. Whose ascension? This guy. Yahushua. He ascended. There's the ascension. Okay? And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he, Yahushua, was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Wait a minute. Right? This same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Huh? Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he, who's he? He cometh, second coming. How? In that spaceship. And every eye is going to be so big, every eye is going to see him. Like Independence Day, right? He cometh with clouds. Now, back to 11, right? What's he going to do? He going to save some people. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Well, who came back in that cloud? He did. And he saved these people. They ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Who is they? These people. Their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. Whose dead bodies? And when they shall have finished their testimony, right? Who's they? The two witnesses. Who are the two witnesses? The northern and southern kingdom. The elect of the northern and southern kingdom. Okay? So not everybody is going to burn up in the nuclear destruction. Okay? Not everybody. Some people are going to escape because they know what these scriptures are actually saying. Right? So this is indeed the end. Okay? But we got to go through the skirmishes first. Right? Will they blow up the power plant in Zaporizhia, Ukraine? Right? Will they do that? Well, what must I do so I could get on that bird? So I don't have to go through this. Is this not a plague? This is a plague, right? Is this a plague? Did we establish that this is the plague? And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all those that have fought against Jerusalem, the elect of Israel. Right? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Is this not that? This is the plague. Right? Well, what must you do not to receive of these plagues? Right? Well, let's find out. Let's give some answers here. Is it 20 or is it 18? Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Wait a minute, that's the same as come up hither, ain't it? Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin. Who is her? Babylon the Great, America. And that ye receive not of her, Babylon the Great, plagues. Whose plagues? Babylon the Great, America's plague. So this is going to happen to America. Right? And in order not to receive, not to get your ass burned up, what do you got to do? Come out of her, my people. Right? Come out of Babylon, that ye receive not of her plagues. All right? Because this place is slated for nuclear destruction. Okay? Hearing that voice from heaven indicates that somebody's on a chariot about to do what? Come up hither, my people, so that you don't get your ass burned up by that fire. And this shall be the plague. Let's go back to Zechariah real quick. 14 and 12. And this shall be the what? The plague. What shall be the plague? Getting your ass burned up by nuclear fire. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You got to come out of Babylon, right? Who's got to come out of Babylon? Well, first thing you got to understand is you got enemies, and they're going to watch you, right? When you're getting beamed up, right? What do you mean beamed up? Oh, I just showed you what happened to Yahushua when he left the earth. He left in a cloud, didn't he? And he's coming back the same way. Coming back for what? To destroy this place and to airlift some of the people. This is what it means to be saved. Revelation 11 and 12. And they, the elect of Israel, heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, who's them? The elect of Israel. Come up hither into that chariot. And they ascended up to heaven in that chariot, like he did. Go back and watch it again. And what happened as they were ascending up to heaven in a cloud? These thumbs downers, these haters, watched in awe. What did they say as they were watching? Okay. What does salvation mean? It means to be saved. Well, this is it. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they were saved. They got beamed up. And it was a strange occurrence. And they were like, what the fuck is going on right here? Who said that? Their enemies said that. Shall we delve into it and see exactly what was on their mind as this was going on? It looked a little like this. This is what it's going to look like. Your enemies are going to be watching the and you don't understand these scriptures. This is what we're describing right here. There's the cloud, right? There's the cloud. See, they make movies about it all the time. The movie goes right over your head. And every eye shall see. Why? Because it's so damn big, right? That spaceship is so damn big, okay? Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in the sky. That word heaven goes back to the sky. In a cloud. This cloud, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Look that up. All right? Why do they make these movies? And who is actually in these spaceships? Well, go to Ezekiel and tell you what they really look like. Go to Ezekiel 1 and 5 and read. Okay? And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies, the haters, they watched the whole thing. Well, what did they say? What was on these haters' minds, right? When this was going down? Well, let's find out. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And this video that you're watching right now is a form of this, standing in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and me. Making these videos and telling this truth, okay? When they see it, when they see what? When they see us going up and getting beamed up, when they see this, who's they? Those that have afflicted us and made no account of our labors. When they see it, when they see what? When they see this, our salvation. This is what it means to be saved. Saved from what? You go back to Sarah Connor. Okay, this is what it means to be saved. Go back to Sarah Connor. Saved from what? Saved from this. Where's the saved from this? Okay. Well, how do you survive this? Like this. Let's go over it one more time. Okay. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Well, what does it look like? Looks like this. Come up hither. Why? And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. There's the cloud. That's them ascending up to heaven. Exactly the way the one you call Jesus, that's exactly what happened to him. Right? His ship came, his ride came, his Uber came. Right? And their enemies beheld him. And the same hour as what? As come up hither. Right as this was happening, in that same moment, this, the great earthquake. See the visual? Do the visuals make it any more clear? Okay. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Boom. Right? And their enemies, those haters, we'll get to this, saw it. They watched the whole thing. And then they were sitting there with their jaw dropped. And then, in the same hour, was there a great earthquake, and all of America was burned up. And it looked like this. Okay? And everybody died that didn't catch that cloud, catch that chariot on the way out. So be saved from the destruction. This is what it means to be saved. From the destruction that's coming. Okay? Now, let's inquire as to what these haters and their enemies beheld them. Well, this is the same story in more detail. When they see it, when they see what? When they see this, right? Missiles ain't even came yet. When they see this, they shall be troubled with, oh shit, why them? Okay, now, who's this? Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. This is where the thumbs down comes, because you're mad. When these haters, when they see it, they shall be troubled. You can be scared as hell. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Oh, do you believe in UFOs? You can be standing there. Here come the missiles. And you can watch us. See, who is this? And their enemies, who's that? This guy right here. Who's this? And their enemies beheld them. When they see it, right here. When they, their enemies, see it, they shall be troubled. They, the enemies, shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they're, well, I'll be goddamn. UFOs really do exist, and they're beaming these niggers up right now. And here come the fire. Right? Now, what will they say when reality hits? Okay? And they, who's they? Our enemies, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this is he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach? What do you mean, sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach? We mean this. I got quite a few things up here now. Sometimes in derision. Let's look up this word derision. This is where the thumbs down, because bring your thumbs down. Like God don't see everything. You won't leave a comment, but guess what? You're still being smoked out. Right? Whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb. What is a proverb? Nigger. Right? Look at this. These are God's people right here. Okay? These are the Israelites right here. Okay? This is he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. Where's that? Canadian prepper. Bear with me. Derision. Come on now. Contemptuous ridicule or mockery. The use of ridicule or scorn to show contempt, a state of being laughed at or ridiculed. Right? Coon nigger. The situation in which someone or something is laughed at and considered stupid or of no value. This is he whom we had sometime said, wait a minute. Okay, so derision. Now let's go back. Where's Sirach? Wisdom. And they, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Them UFOs, so far beyond all they looked for. So far beyond all that they looked for. And they, our enemies, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision. And a proverb, these are those niggers that we used to account. Read on. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Well, here's our end right here. Completely honorable. We're being saved from the missiles. How is he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? You are going to be stupefied, right? Therefore, we have erred from the way of truth. There is no truth in you, devils. And the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us. You're the devil. And the Son of Righteousness rose not upon us. No. Nope. You're all pieces of shit. You know it inside. Now you got to pay for what you've done. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness. You are the wicked. And destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. No, you have not. Okay? What hath pride profited us? Or what hath riches with our vaunting brought us? Your riches ain't doing you a damn bit of good in this day. Okay? All right? You have to pay for what you did. Okay? And God is going to see to it. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to see to that you pay, right, for the things that you did. It wasn't me. Yeah, you're going to try to wiggle your way, right, out of judgment, but it's not going to work. Right? Take it up with the Most High. These things must be reconciled. They must be. All right? Look at the pride. Look at the pride. All right? Yeah. Put your thumbs down. You think God, okay, let's just say, for shits and giggles, let's imagine that these people are the children of God, God's chosen people. Let's just, for shits and giggles, right? Let's just imagine that these people, right, are the children of Israel, God's chosen people. Let's just imagine that for a moment, right? You don't have to believe it. Let's just imagine it for a moment, okay? Right? Yeah, but that was a long time ago. One day is 1,000 years to the Most High. There goes that nice try, right? Nice try. This is half a day ago. If one day is 1,000 years, 500 years is half a day. The Most High is just waking up from a nap. All right? And these things must be reconciled. Okay? These things must be reconciled. Well, what does it mean? Let's turn it into... Now that everybody's watching World War III videos, the Spirit of the Lord done brought this out. Revelation 13. We'll end on this. Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Who's speaking? Yahushua, the one you ignorantly call Jesus. He that leadeth into captivity. The word slavery can replace that word. Shall go into slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be, or not must be killed with the sword. An eye for an eye, right? He that leadeth into captivity, slavery, shall go into whatever you did is going to come back on you. It must be done to you. Right? Now, let's go back. What must be done to you? See, I invite your thumbs down. I understand it. I understand the thumbs down. Look at the pride. Look at the pride. Look at the arms crossed. Look at the pride on these devils' face. Yeah, but it wasn't me, and that was a long time. Yeah, nice try. Right? It wasn't me. I didn't have many slaves. Well, guess what? You're going to be a slave. Because this happened to all of us. All right? We all went into slavery. Okay? See that? It's called the shoe being on the other foot. All right? That's what this is about. There's nothing you can do about it. All right? Let's read about the kingdom of heaven. Isaiah 14. Sorry I went a little long, but not sorry. All right, this is the kingdom of heaven here. Listen close. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, will have mercy on Jacob, right? And will yet choose Israel. Jacob and Israel are the same. And set them in their own land. Those people over there fighting over our land, Benjamin Netanyahu and the so-called Palestinians, that's not their land, it's our land. Now, this is talking about the kingdom of heaven. And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, all Israelite. And they shall cleave into the house of Jacob. We're all going to be in our homeland and abroad, and we're going to be in rulership of the earth. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, right? Who are we going to take? And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants, slaves, and handmaid, female slaves. And they shall take them captives. There's that word again. He that leadeth them to captivity. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Whose captives were we? We shall make slaves out of those who made slaves out of us. And we shall rule in rulership. Who's in rulership right now? Well, the devil is. And we're his captive. And they shall rule over their oppressor. Well, who oppressed us? And who's got us in slavery to the United Slavery? I believe we are. I believe we are. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Whose captives they were. Well, you sold your own people to... Oh, come on. You don't understand shit. But when that yoke of iron is around your neck, okay, this must happen to those that did this to us. Okay, the Lord Legionnaire. The Lord Legionnaire, right? There's some pretty safe little pictures here. Anyway, so there you have it. That's the reason for World War III. The reason for World War III is to set this place on fire. Who is Yahushua coming back for? To kill. He's coming back to kill and to save. Who is he coming back to kill? Can you make a guess? Let's see. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Who's that? That's the devil. Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to Savior. The answer to this question, this rhetorical question, is the Savior, who the world ignorantly called Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew. He's coming from Edom with blood all over his clothes, traveling in one of these. Where'd it go? Okay? In the greatness of his strength. Right? It said he was coming back in the clouds, didn't it? Well, this is what it's talking. Who is this that cometh? Behold, he cometh with clouds, right? Here's the cloud, traveling in the greatness of his strength. Right? You're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Oh, salvation, there's that word. All right? Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why is there blood all over your chariot? And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? Why? Jesus, that loves everybody, that would never hurt a ladybug. I, who's that? Savior, have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger. Jesus doesn't have anger. He has righteous anger. Yahushua has righteous anger. And trample them in my fury. He has righteous fury. And their blood. Whose blood? And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Why? For the day of vengeance is in my heart. His heart is his mind. And his mind is made up that he can come back and kill a grip of Edomites. And the year of my redeemed has come. Who are his redeemed? The elect of Israel. This is the redemption. All right. What happens right after this? The missiles. Right? The missiles hit. Revelation 11 and 13 and 12. They heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Who else ascended up to heaven in a cloud? Well, there was Enoch. There was Elijah. They all did the same thing. Okay. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies, the Edomites, who are they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemy, wait, who are the enemies of they? Well, let's point it out. Got to bring the whole truth out for the haters. Psalm 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemy, whose enemies? Keep not, Psalm 83 and 1, keep not thy silence, O God. You mean God's enemy? God has enemies? And hold not thy peace and be not still. O God, for lo, thine enemy. Thine enemies? Who is thine? God. God has enemies? Make a tumult. And they that hate thee, God has enemies that hate him? Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who is God's people? The nation of Israel. So not only do they hate God, they hate his people too. Thine enemies. Thine enemy. Well, who are they? Thine enemies. Right? The ones you're trying to kill. Let us cut them off. Right? You have said, let us cut them off. You have said this against God's people, the nation of Israel. Let us cut them off. Let us destroy them. Let us wipe out Israel. Let us erase them. Cut them off. Wipe them out. Cut them up. Utterly destroy them. Well, what does it look like to utterly destroy us? We can do this all day. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's utterly destroy. Let's cut them off. Let's utterly destroy them. Let's utterly destroy them. Let's utterly destroy them. Let's cut them off from being a people. All right, so who are our enemies? Who are the enemy? Right? Well, we're your enemies, are we not? Of course we are. We are your enemies, and you are our enemies. Stop playing. Stop fucking playing. Stop playing. It's go time out here. Our enemies. Our enemies. For lo, thine enemies. Our enemies are the enemies of God. They hate God. Anna. Why do they hate God? Because he chose us. Why do they hate us? He chose us. Right? Who are our enemies? There they are. Number one. Number one and number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number one and number 7. Same people. Okay? A lot of them. But number one, who's at the top of who is this that coming from Edom? Do we go back to Isaiah 63 now? Why is God coming from Edom? They're our enemies. Salaki, why is Yahushua coming from Edom? Because they're our enemies. Enemy. For lo, thine enemies. Enemy, 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 enemy. Now we'll go back to Revelation. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies, have we established who our enemies are yet? And their enemies watch the whole thing. Somebody's getting beamed up and somebody's watching. Look at this picture. Just tell the whole story. Híjole. All right, so anyway, we'll end it right there. We're in that time. See, we're watching. We're measuring the time diligently. And what do we see? We see World War III. Okay? When this mutually assured destruction comes, right? When those nukes from those ICBMs, right? They come from a far country, right? Isaiah 13 and 5. What is this talking about? They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons, even those ICBMs, weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. What comes from a far country, from a different country? An ICBM, a weapon of the Most High's indignation. Okay? Let's read 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. This is talking about those missiles and how many of them. It's going to liken them unto an army. A tumultuous noise, that great earthquake, of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord of armies, mustereth, gathereth together the hosts, the armies of the battle. They come from a far country, those missiles. From the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Destroy what? in the same hour was there a great earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men, all of our enemies, even the 2/3. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. We're the remnant. All right. So with that, we hope that the elect will edify you brothers and few sisters with that. Shalom.